Welcome to the Explainer. Today we're tackling something pretty urgent, AI governance. But we're not talking about the server room, we're talking about the boardroom. You know, while AI is completely changing business from the ground up, the view from the very top is, well, let's just say it's a little fuzzy. We're going to dig into the source material to figure out this huge gap between what AI can do and how prepared our leaders really are.
So let's just start with a number that'll make you stop and think. According to a recent Deloitte survey, almost half of all companies, that's 45%, haven't even put AI on the board's agenda. I mean, think about that. It's not a low-priority item. For nearly half of them, it's not an item at all.
And okay, even if they are talking about it, get this. A PwC study found that a staggering 82% of directors admit they don't feel well informed about generative AI. This creates this really dangerous gap between the lightning speed of tech and the, let's say, more deliberate pace of corporate leadership.
Which, it all leads to this massive question. As AI is literally rewriting the rules of the game for every industry, if the board isn't fully plugged in, then who's actually steering the ship? It's a critical question of oversight in an age of really, really smart machines.
All right, so let's really dig in here. To get a handle on this whole challenge, we first got to understand the different stages of AI governance maturity. And luckily for us, the source material gives us a super clear framework to do exactly that.
And here we have this really fascinating tool, the AI Governance Maturity Matrix. Just think of it like a roadmap for any board. It shows them not just where they are right now, but exactly where they need to go. And the whole journey is broken down across 5 key areas, everything from strategy to culture.
So most companies start right here, in what's called the reactive stage. In this phase, you've got AI projects just popping up all over the place, in different departments with zero board-level strategy. The board usually only hears about AI when something goes amazingly right. Or, let's be honest, more often when something goes horribly wrong, like a massive data breach. It's just a constant game of playing catch-up. The next stop on this roadmap is the proactive stage. This is where things start getting deliberate. The board begins setting clear goals for AI, actually defining what success looks like, and putting up some formal ethical guardrails. And, this is crucial, they make a real effort to get some AI expertise in the room, usually by hiring a director who actually knows this stuff. But the ultimate goal, the place you really want to be, is the transformative stage. At this point, AI isn't just a tool anymore, it's not just a project, it's literally woven into the fabric of the company's strategy. The board is using AI-driven insights to make decisions on the fly, and this AI-first mindset is driving innovation and speed through the entire company.
But, a framework's just a map, right? It's pretty useless if you don't have someone who can actually read it. And that brings us to maybe the most critical piece of this puzzle, the people. Or, more specifically, the huge, glaring lack of AI expertise at the very top.
And wow, this slide just lays it all out there. A Harvard study found that only 13% of S&P 500 companies have directors with real AI skills. And as you can see here, when you look at the top 50, it's pretty much just the big tech giants. For almost everyone else, the boardroom is flying completely blind.
So, how do you fix this huge expertise gap? Well, companies are turning to this new, super powerful player in the executive suite, the Chief AI Officer, or CAIO. And this isn't just some techie role, it's a strategic one, designed to build a bridge between the technology and real business value.
And it's not just a fad, this role is really taking off. A big IBM study found that today, 26% of organizations have a chief AI officer leading their AI strategy. To put that in perspective, that's up from just 11% in 2023. That's a huge jump. So here's the million-dollar question. Does this role actually make a difference? The data says absolutely. That same IBM study found that companies with a CIO see a 10% greater return on their AI investments. This role isn't just about oversight. It's about delivering real, measurable financial results. And I love this quote from Daniel Holm, the CIO at WPP, because it just nails the mission. He says it's not about generating hype or telling a good story. The job is to turn that AI vision into a real, measurable edge over the competition, something that actually shows up on the bottom line.
Okay, so you've got the framework, you've got the people. What does it all add up to? Let's look at how this expertise leads to a future where AI doesn't just help the business, it fundamentally rewires the boardroom itself, changing how decisions are made, how risks are managed, and how strategy gets built. And what we're seeing is this incredible shift described by researchers at Stanford. The traditional board, well, it often works with what they call information asymmetry. Basically, they only know what management decides to tell them.
But the AI-enabled board, they get direct access to data and analytics. This lets them supplement what they're hearing from management and shift from being reactive to truly proactive. And this just changes everything for every single committee on the board. With AI, strategy talks get supercharged with data-driven scenarios. The compensation committee can do real-time analysis of what competitors are paying. The audit committee gets tools that can literally sniff out potential fraud. This isn't science fiction, folks. It's the next frontier of running a company.
All right, this all sounds amazing, right? But how does a board actually get started? How do you go from just talking about AI to actually embedding it into how you govern?
Well, the good news is there's a really clear, actionable plan. It all starts with an honest look in the mirror, a self-assessment using that maturity matrix we talked about. From there, you set specific goals like, we're going to recruit an AI-savvy director this year. Then you have to put your money where your mouth is and allocate a real budget for tools and education. And finally, this isn't a one-and-done thing. You have to keep monitoring and reviewing as the tech changes, because believe me, it's going to keep changing.
And that really leaves us with this final critical question. The biggest takeaway from all of this is that just sitting back and watching is a recipe for failure in the age of AI. The choice for every single board out there is becoming crystal clear. Are you going to be a spectator to this revolution, or are you going to step up and lead it?